and volunteered and put in all this time to make this happen. I would also like to thank and congratulate the other fabulous keynote speakers, Nick Kay and Alexis Martinez. Thank you for having me up here with them today. And it's an honor to be amongst you all. So I also have the deepest gratitude to be given the opportunity to be representative of the intersex community and speak with you all today. I do want to give you a little warning. It's like a trigger warning. I'm going to talk about some stuff that might trigger you. If you don't want to hear it, you should leave. Or cover your earplugs. It's not that bad though. Okay, so I want to talk to you all about something that rarely gets spoken about. Every day a child too young to give fully informed consent is subjected to the knife. They call them normalizing surgeries, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing normal about those surgeries. And so due to the lack of I'm just going to read. I'm sick of looking at you because I keep missing my spot. Alright, so I'm here to tell you there's nothing normal about what some of these surgeons do to our intersex kids and adults. Due to a lack of imagination for what our sex organs should look like, the medical industrial complex deems our bodies different, too small, too large, and ultimately not necessary. And then they attempt to physically erase parts of our bodies. I will leave you to your own imaginations to figure out what that means and what surgeons do to us. Some of you out there, and I can see you somewhere, might not have to imagine because you've survived what I'm talking about. My story, to some degree, is also your story, and vice versa. And if you're not intersex, then maybe you've been in a relationship with someone who is. And if you haven't been in a relationship, maybe you've given your shoulder for an intersex person to cry on or an ear to hear their story. And if you haven't had the privilege of meeting one of us, well, first of all, I'm sorry. And second of all, I hope you get to one day. I'm not done. I thought there was going to be a podium, but there's not. So, when hearing our stories, many people assume that the most worst, debilitating part is the part about the surgeries. And it is. It's really fucking shitty. It sucks. But, the parts of our bodies that are not affected by surgery are ultimately affected by shame and stigma. Shame and stigma have a really interesting way of working together to silence us, to put us in the shadows, to make us not want to speak. And these are two of the biggest weapons that the doctors have in their arsenal. So, they try to put us in a place where it's too difficult to rise up and speak our truth. And they try to squash the thing in us that they cannot cut away, which is our voice. But throughout history, I realize I'm still wearing this glove. Throughout history, there has been countless attempts to discredit our bodies, redefine them, and recently to surgically alter them against our will. Yet we survive. This is a little quote from one of my mentors and my boss. Alright, so they can never take away our voice, our resilience, our ability to come together and imagine events like this one. These events are aimed at bringing together and celebrating differences like ours. Sharing our voice gives us the power to change people's minds and hearts. Of course, we all have the right to maintain our privacy, which is something I did for a few years, but holding on to a secret is a lot like holding on to a baby bird. It takes a lot of work, and it diverts a lot of our power and our energy. But if we decide to let that baby bird go free,
Can I be your podium?
Sure. Oh, I could just, okay, thank you. So, if we decide, it's natural to fear that if we open our hands and let that baby bird go, we will never get it back.
I'm sorry, baby.
Oh, thank you. This just keeps getting better. So, having a secret is a lot like having a baby bird. You got to carry it around, it takes a lot of time, blah, blah, blah. And then we're really scared to sometimes to let that baby bird go free. But if we do let that baby bird go free, and we open up and we let it fly, we find in ourselves a freedom as well, and a power that we never even knew we had. And that's from and Tamar Mattis, one of my mentors, the bird story. So, over the past year, intersex individuals from all over the world have spoken up. Activists, advocates, and other people have come together to spread light where there once was just ignorance and isolation. A few of these accomplishments are: in Australia, there was recently a law passed that specifically protects intersex people from discrimination. Owen, that's for you, lawyer. The World Health Organization has been preparing to make a statement against involuntary sterilization of intersex people. And then the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Torture recently included involuntary genital surgery in its statement on torture in healthcare. AIC, Advocates for Informed Choice, who I work for. Interact is the youth portion of that group. We recently filed a groundbreaking impact litigation seeking to hold doctors accountable for the risk they impose on one of our children and for failing to provide full information about these risks to the caregivers. 2 weeks later, one of our ally organizations filed suit in Kenya to protect a 5-year-old intersex child from unnecessary genital surgery. So, like I said, a lot of shit's going down, and that's good. I'm honored to have been asked to give a speech here at T.G.I.F. This is a space of possibility, a space of great potential, and a space where imaginations like ours can flourish. And fear of difference is what gets erased, instead of the difference itself. I am thankful to be a part of this movement, to know KOKUMO, and to be here today with all of you beautiful, queer, and on-point, sexy-ass people who dare to imagine something different for yourself and your community. Thank you very much, and have a beautiful day.